Hardwood Skips. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day. I wish you all happy Easter and enjoy the rest of your day. So today we're reacting to the scary truth about AJ Dybantsa that nobody's noticing. So I want you all to lock in with me as we get right into it.
AJ Dybantsa will be one of the most talked about names in college basketball next season. He just wrapped up his senior year as the #1 player in the country and already has NBA scouts calling him a future franchise cornerstone. At 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, he already looks the part. He has the length of a forward but the skill set of a guard. He's an elite 3-level scorer, capable of pulling up from deep, rising over defenders with a smooth mid-range jumper, and attacking the basket with long strides and effortless touch. His game is polished, fluid, and far more advanced than most players his age. So the question becomes, is AJ truly different? Can he carry a program like BYU to a national championship?
This is a valid question, bro. And trust me, he's definitely going to carry this BYU team to championship. With someone like this possessing such qualities, bro, it's definitely going to be possible. I don't know what you think. I need to know in the comments below. Can you imagine his qualities, man? Only one person having the features of KD, LeBron, and Curry. And being the #1 person in the country as a rookie, bro. That's tough. That's tough, man. He definitely going to take the BYU team to the championship. Trust me.
We're going to break it all down. We're going to understand where he came from, why he made one of the boldest commitments we've ever seen, and why his game might actually be as scary good as some of the NBA legends he's being compared to. Let's start from the beginning. AJ's journey began in Brockton, Massachusetts. Even at 14 and 15 years old, his shot creation and offensive instincts looked far beyond his age.
Now this is a creative wine, bro. He didn't live that life, bro. He chased his dream, bro. He wanted to be a baller. And when I mean baller, a basketballer. And not just a baller, an NBA baller. Bro, he's him.
And for people in New England, there was something familiar about it. Just a few years earlier, the area had lost one of its brightest basketball stars, Terrence Clarke, a Boston native and Kentucky guard who tragically passed away in 2021. Clarke wasn't just another player in the city, he was the guy kids in Massachusetts looked up to, and AJ was one of them. The two shared a connection that went beyond basketball. AJ has spoken about how much Clarke inspired him and how he carried that memory with him as he rose through the ranks. For those who knew both, there's something fitting about AJ picking up where Terrence left off, carrying that Boston pride and showing the world the kind of talent the city can produce.
R.I.P. Clarke. You know how painful it would be with losing your best friend, man. And you know these two carried each other. They had a motive. They had a purpose, man, to make Boston shine. But you know, life happened and the other wine was lost. But all glory to God, may his soul rest in peace. Now, AJ Dybantsa is carrying the future, the purpose, the motive. He's carrying it along with him, and that's actually a good one. We're waiting to see you take the BYU to the championship, and bro, we're rooting for you, bro.
As someone watching his journey, I can't help but root for him. The connection to Clarke makes it feel personal. Clarke was supposed to be the one who carried the torch, and now AJ has the chance to do it. And you can see it in the way he plays, in the way he carries himself, that he's motivated not just by his own goals, but by honoring the path of someone he admired. From there, AJ moved to the prep school circuit, first landing at Prolific Prep in California. Now, Prolific isn't just any school, it's one of the premier basketball academies in the country, with a track record of producing NBA talent. But playing at Prolific isn't easy. You're constantly matched up against the best, and if you want to stand out, you have to prove you're not just another name in the system. Even among elite talent, AJ stood out as the guy scouts could not take their eyes off of. His ability to score at will, to rise up over defenders, to create shots off the dribble at 6'9", it didn't look like a high school forward.
Now, having come from this much competition, bro, AJ Dybantsa is special, I would say, bro. And yet the scouts never took their eyes off him, and that's a good point because they knew this boy's and this man's capabilities were out of the rest. Like, it was different. And you see, I like the support he's got so far from his teammates, from the players, from those around him, the chairs. Man, the new AJ is him. We got to give him a couple of time, bro. He going to get there. He going to take the BYU to the championship. I mean, we got the playoffs coming in. But then, you see, this man is special. With his unique capabilities, bro, he plays like me.
It looked like a pro. But AJ's journey didn't stop there. For his senior year, he transferred to Utah Prep, where he closed out his high school career in dominant fashion. And this wasn't just another good season. This was a season that cemented him as the consensus #1 player in the class of 2025.
Yeah.
At Utah Prep, AJ led his team against some of the toughest schedules in the country. He wasn't just scoring, he was doing it efficiently, flashing everything from deep threes to mid-range pull-ups to slashing drives that ended with highlight dunks. His ability to take over games made him a nightmare for opposing coaches. And perhaps most importantly, he looked consistent. Every game, every event, he was the best player on the floor.
Bro, AJ Dybantsa looked consistent. He didn't just look consistent, he was consistent, bro. I mean, someone scoring points whenever he wanted, maneuvering his way through defenders and all. Bro, that's more than consistent. We can hardly find that in players playing today, bro. We got lots of players, qualities in this man. He practice, he's consistent. Bro, how consistent are you when you struggle and you hustle? This man was beyond consistent.
And it wasn't
Even
just
as a
high
boy.
school ball where he thrived. AJ's dominance carried over to the Nike EYBL circuit, where he was one of the standout performers among the nation's elite prospects. Against the best AAU competition in the country, he proved he could still rise above everyone else. He was also a force in international competition with Team USA, where his length, skill, and poise showed against the world's best teenage players. This is what made him different. AJ didn't just put up numbers in one setting, he did it everywhere.
Bro, you see, this is what made him different. He didn't just put up few numbers, a couple numbers in few seconds, bro. He did it everywhere. That's like leaving a mark. Nike, just do it. He was always leaving a mark. He was always leaving his signature, bro. And that signature says, I can do it. Anytime, anywhere, any place you want it, I can do it. And that's what AJ was doing, bro. How many players can do that today, bro?
Whether it was prep school, AAU, or international play, he looked like the same dominant player. And that's what convinced scouts and ranking outlets that he wasn't just hype, he was the real deal. By the end of his high school career, AJ was the undisputed top player in the country. ESPN had him ranked #1 in the class of 2025. And even though 24/7 Sports gave the edge to Darren Peterson, ESPN didn't question it. But here's where things get interesting, because after dominating at Utah Prep, after proving himself as the #1 player in America, AJ had every option in the world for college. He could have gone to Duke, he could have gone to Kentucky, he could have gone to Kansas, UNC, or literally any blue blood program he wanted. And yet, he didn't. This is where AJ's story takes a sharp turn, because the school he picked wasn't any of those traditional powerhouses. Instead, he committed to BYU, a decision that not only shocked the college basketball world, but also set the stage for one of the boldest experiments we've ever seen in the modern era of recruiting.
Damn, I need to know what the reason why he did it. Was it something he agreed with Terrence? Or he just had a dream to go to BYU? Because for this man to avoid the traditional teams that everyone always go to college for, bro, there should be a good reason. I mean, there should be a very good one, and we are getting to it.
When the news first broke that the #1 player in the country had committed to BYU, it shook the entire recruiting world. Think about it. The top players in America almost always go to the same places. Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, sometimes Michigan State or UCLA. These are the programs that consistently land the one-and-done talents. They're household names, they're historic, they're the safe bets. BYU, they've had good teams, sure. Jimmer Fredette made them nationally relevant for a year, they've had some tournament runs, but they've never had a player like AJ Dybantsa. A consensus #1 recruit choosing to spend his college career in Provo, Utah? It was thinkable until it happened. So you may be asking yourself, why BYU? Well, the answer starts with new head coach Kevin Young. In 2024, BYU made a bold hire by naming Young their new head coach. At the time, he was the associate head coach for the Phoenix Suns, where he had spent years coaching Kevin Durant.
You see, Young made a very good decision, though. And we're getting right into it. And if that man is the one that coached Kevin Durant, then AJ Dybantsa is in good hands. We know how well KD plays today with so much precision and energy that KD is nearly unguardable as Wemby is. Now we got AJ in his hands, bro. They'll be doing wonders right now. Very soon, it's going to be a banger, a big banger.
Young had built a reputation around the league as a sharp basketball mind, someone who understood player development and could build relationships with stars. For AJ, that connection was everything. Kevin Durant is one of AJ's biggest inspirations, and now there was a coach out there in college who just spent years coaching his idol. AJ himself admitted that Young's hiring was a massive factor in his decision. It wasn't just about playing college ball, it was about preparing for the NBA, and Young was the kind of coach who could bridge that gap. But it wasn't just Kevin Young. What really stood out to AJ was how BYU's entire staff felt like an NBA operation.
Now, you see, Young made it look like it was an NBA operation, bro. There was like, should I call it pre-NBA? Because this man knew how to build, relationships with star players, and he knew how to work on player development. Bro, it was actually amazing. I mean, and I'll see why AJ went to BYU, because Kevin Durant is his idol, and his idol was coached by Young, and now Young is coaching him, bro. You see the chemistry? It's actually intense, bro, and I feel so happy. A few seconds ago, I want to know the reason. Now I'm beginning to get it on clear, bro. It's beginning to unravel. Let's deep dive more. We'll get right into it. I know there are more reasons why, but this man's decision making is absolute 100%.
Nearly 90% of the staff had direct experience in the league. Young himself brought NBA coaching pedigree. Michael Davey had been Giannis Antetokounmpo's strength coach, while Craig Manning worked closely on Giannis's player development. Their dietitian came straight from the Phoenix Suns, and even the analytics department was run by someone with NBA ties. And for a player who fully expects his college career to last just one season before the draft, surrounding himself with professionals who had already operated the highest level wasn't just appealing, it felt essential. But then, of course, there's the money.
You see, we didn't just have Young there. We still have other key coach and people who worked in the NBA. We got the analyzers. We got coaches. We got a coach that coached Giannis there too. You see why AJ was smart with his decision making. He didn't just go to the usual traditional teams or college. Bro, he went through the right foot. And that's what's shaping him today, bro. Just give him some time. Give him some time.
The rumor surrounding AJ's commitment was that BYU locked him in with a staggering $7 million NIL package. Whether that exact number is true or not almost doesn't matter. What matters is that AJ entered college basketball already as one of the richest athletes in the sport. That deal ensured not just security for him and his family, but also pressure, because when you're being paid like a pro, people expect you to perform like a pro.
Now, this is actually another reason. When you're being paid like a pro, people expect you to play like a pro. So we got various reasons as to why this man went to BYU. Now he's seen coaches, pro coaches, he's seen pro setups, he training hard for those things. And not just that, the money presented too is actually enticing. But you're not just going there to just go play like you playing some random kids. You're going to play to self-develop, and you have to play like a pro. Your expectations, you have to live up to everyone's expectations, because they don't see you like a normal college kid or some kid who just want to play, who just play basketball randomly. They see you like a pro. They see you as a pro, bro. So you've got to live up to that tax.
So add it all up. BYU lands Kevin Young, fresh from coaching Kevin Durant. AJ sees the opportunity to learn directly from an entire staff with NBA pedigree. And on top of all that, he secures what might be the biggest NIL package ever offered to a college player. It wasn't just a recruiting win, it was a statement. Because this wasn't AJ taking the safe route. This wasn't him choosing Duke to coast to the NBA. This was him betting on himself, betting on Kevin Young and his staff, putting BYU on the national map in a way that we've never seen before.
So have you ever bet on yourself, taking on a task, a goal, decision making, the targets? You need to do that today. Bet on yourself. Believe in yourself, but first believe in God. Put God first. You know, this is what AJ did right here. He bet on himself, and Young actually bet on him too. Not like gambling betting, but it's believing yourself. We all understand that you need to do that today. Bro, this is one hell of a risk, taking that huge NIL package. And not just taking it, bro. You are going to be seen as a pro. You have to live up to the tax of the players, the coaches, and the managers. Bro, even your parents, bro, you got a lot, bro. You got to live up to the tax, man.
And that's what makes this so fascinating. AJ isn't just another top recruit walking into a program built to handle his spotlight. He's walking into a place that's never had this kind of player, this kind of attention, or this kind of expectation. BYU is suddenly a program that the entire country will be watching, all because of one player. And that's where the scary truth begins to take shape, because AJ isn't just carrying the weight of being the #1 recruit, he's also carrying the pressure of elevating an entire program.
Now, this is where we get it. You see, he's carrying the weight of the whole team. Yes, we can see it. He's carrying the weight of the whole team, bro. And it's actually surprising because everyone is putting all their shoulders on him. So he gonna carry everyone, bro. And because of him, funny thing is, because of him, everyone is watching BYU right now. He's put the team on the spotlight. And that's actually insane, bro. Something that has not happened before. AJ now making it possible. So that's why he got so much pressure. Not like pressure, but the pressure to live up to the task, to live up to why you are being called AJ, and to live up to why you are being seen as a pro. So you got to play like a pro. Because you've got the best coaches and managers around you. Coach from the freshly coaching KD, another coach from Giannis. We got an NBA analyst too. So you got pro help. So you got to live up to the pro tax too.
Of proving that BYU belongs on the same stage as the Blue Bloods. That's a level of responsibility that very few teenagers could ever dream of handling. But if anyone can, it just might be AJ Dybantsa. So what makes AJ so special? First, there's his frame. At 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, he has the ideal build for a modern NBA wing. Tall enough to play forward, long enough to bother shots, but mobile enough to handle the ball like a guard. The way he moves is what jumps off the screen. Fluid, balanced, and natural. He doesn't look like a big man trying to force guard skills. He looks like a perimeter player who just happens to be huge. Offensively, AJ is already a 3-level scorer. From deep, he has the confidence and mechanics of a future knockdown shooter. His high release makes it nearly impossible to contest. From mid-range, he flashes what might be his deadliest weapon, the pull-up jumper.
Damn, Skips, do you hear that? This man is special, bro. Look at the qualities. He's 6'9". He possesses so many skills, bro. That is shocking. Can you see that? Damn.
His footwork is advanced for his age, letting him stop on a dime, rise, and hit contested shots that only the most polished scorers can make. At the rim, his stride length and body control make him relentless. He can dunk through contact, but he just as often finishes with finesse. Soft floaters, crafty layups, touch shots that show he's more than just power.
You see, this isn't make-believe, bro. It's natural. And he doesn't play like he wants to be someone, bro. He plays like himself. He practices, he trains, bro. He's living up to the pro tax. And that's how it's meant to be. You see, we got some people faking it, bro. He's working up. He's striking every inch of expectations being played out to him. That's AJ Dybantsa for you.
But AJ isn't just a scorer. His passing ability is one of the most underrated parts of his game. At Utah Prep, he drew constant double teams, and instead of forcing shots, he displayed vision and poise, finding open teammates. He reads defenses well, makes the extra pass, and plays with unselfishness you don't usually see in players built to dominate. On defense, AJ has all the tools to be a star. His length makes him a natural shot contester, and his lateral quickness lets him guard smaller players on the perimeter while still being effective against size in the paint. He disrupts passing lanes, anticipates plays, and turns stops into transition buckets. He isn't just solid defensively, he has the potential to be a game changer. And then there's the way he carries himself. Calm, smooth, never rushed. He doesn't force the game. He doesn't look like he's pressing. Instead, everything looks effortless. The kind of composure that makes 25 points feel routine. That's where you start to see shades of greatness.
Yeah. You see, this man isn't even pressured, bro. He doesn't feel pressured, but yet he's under pressure. He doesn't force any moves. It's just natural, bro. It's inbuilt. This man is special. And he actually lives up to the task of making sure he's the great one. He's the chosen one. You see his plays, bro. I love the fact that you analyze him properly. This man is something else, bro.
The size, the scoring package, the smoothness, the vision. But to really understand those comparisons, you have to look at the players themselves. When it comes to AJ Dybantsa, the name that comes up more than any other is Kevin Durant. It's easy to see why. Durant exploded onto the national scene in 2006 at Texas, averaging 25 and 11 as a freshman. A 6'10 forward with the game of a shooting guard, it felt like basketball had been reprogrammed. Nearly 20 years later, defenses still haven't solved him. AJ follows the same blueprint. A tall, long wing who can shoot over anyone, score from anywhere, and create mismatches across the floor. The parallels are uncanny, and the path makes it even more interesting. Durant elevated Texas, a strong program but not a blue blood, into the national spotlight. AJ is attempting something even bolder.
In life, you need to have a mentor. Yes. If you want to do something, you want to be something, you need to have a mentor, bro. It doesn't mean you all have to talk all day or whatever, have personal relationship. But you need to have a mentor. And this is what happened in the case of AJ and KD. You see, AJ plays just like KD because his mentor is KD. He lives up to the task to play like KD. I want to be like KD. So, you know, KD didn't just achieve what he is today from sitting at one place and waiting for the ball or the deal to come to him. He went to it. He practiced. He worked for it. He lived up to the pro tax, bro. And imagine averaging 25 points per game as a freshman. The first year. Damn, bro. That was crazy. And 20 years later, you are doing more. And you are nearly unguardable, bro. KD is him. And AJ made right choice to be KD's sidekick.
Bringing BYU into a spotlight it's never had. Both players bet on themselves and their ability to transform a program. That's not coincidence, that's confidence. But the Durant comparison comes with danger. Brandon Ingram, Michael Porter Jr., Cam Reddish, all were called the next KD. None became Kevin Durant. Why? Because Durant isn't just tall and skilled, he's obsessive, he's competitive, he's cold-blooded. His mentality is what truly separates him. That's the bar AJ has to clear. And then there's Tracy McGrady. T-Mac was one
Of course, KD got passion for basketball. Yeah, the other players like Ingram and the rest, they got passion for the ball, but not just like KD. Yes, they were supposed to be the next KD, but KD has this different passion for basketball that I've never seen before. He's so locked in. And you all know KD is single. KD is locked in, bro. You see him training almost every single time. Nothing interests that man other than basketball. What do you want to discuss if not basketball? What do you want to do if not basketball? You see, the passion and the obsession drives him to be who he is today. That's KD, capital letter KD, Kevin Durant. And now, AJ Dybantsa has to clear that he has to be like KD. If he wants to be like KD, he needs to have the obsession. He needs to have the skill, bro. You don't just have to be a tall kid with skills, bro. You need to be obsessed with your craft.
the smoothest scorers the league has ever seen. At his peak, he could drop 30 without breaking a sweat. His jumper, his drives, even his passing, it all looked effortless. That artistry is what makes people think of him when they watch AJ glide into shots or make a creative pass out of traffic. Durant's game is about inevitability. You know he's going to score, and you can't stop it. McGrady's was about beauty. He made the game look like art. AJ shows flashes of both, Durant's inevitability and McGrady's artistry. And that's what makes him so terrifying as a prospect, because if KD was a scoring machine and McGrady was pure poetry in motion, then AJ might be the first player to blend them together. Of course, he still has everything to prove. Durant became an MVP and a two-time Finals MVP.
This is Akinde from Kano. He wants to start selling online. He just needs a domain name. Akinde.
McGrady, despite injuries, became a Hall of Famer and a two-time scoring champ. AJ hasn't even played a college game yet. But when you watch him, you understand why scouts can't help themselves. The flashes of KD, the smoothness of T-Mac, the combination of size, skill, and feel that almost never come around. And if AJ really is the fusion of KD and T-Mac, then the basketball world might be witnessing something it's never seen before. Here's the scary truth about AJ Dybantsa. It's not just that he looks like Kevin Durant. It's not just that he has shades of Tracy McGrady. It's that he's stepping into one of the most dangerous positions a young player can ever be in. Because being labeled the next Kevin Durant is almost a curse. We've seen it crush players before. For every LeBron James who carried the weight of expectations and lived up to them, there are 5 prospects who folded under the pressure.
With great power comes great responsibility. That's what AJ is facing right now. And you know, he makes it look so effortlessly. He makes it look so sweet and so soothing to watch, bro. That's who AJ Dybantsa is, bro. He's not taking no for an answer because he has to live up to the test. And just like he said, for every player, every young player that wants to be like a star, a super player, a superstar like LeBron, KD, bro, you should know in history that these players, even Larry Bird, these players, they worked hard for it. They lived up to the task of being a superstar, a star player. Because you can't just sit around, you don't want to practice, you don't want to sweat, you don't want to break your, bro, you will go through all these things. You have to go through all these things to be who you want to be tomorrow. If your mentor is KD or LeBron, bro, you have to practice hard. You have to do it. You have to stress yourself. You have to put yourself in the uncomfortable for you to get there.
Being called the next Durant sets a bar that almost nobody in basketball history could reach. And yet, AJ has more on his shoulders than just that comparison. He's the #1 recruit in America, which brings enormous pressure on its own. He's committed to BYU, a school that has never been on this stage, a program that will be judged entirely by his success or his failure. He's tied directly to Kevin Durant through Kevin Young, BYU's new head coach, who spent years coaching KD with the Suns. Every time AJ walks into a gym, people will connect the dots, the young prodigy being molded by the coach who worked with Durant himself. And then there's the money. The rumored $7 million NIL package AJ received to commit to BYU doesn't just change his life, it changes the expectations. When you're being paid like an NBA player before you've ever played a college game, people don't see you as a kid anymore. They see you as an investment.
You see, when you've been paid like an NBA player, bro, no one sees you like a kid. You are a man now. You are now an investment because definitely you're going to be getting deals here and there. You've got to carry a whole team on your shoulder. You carry the team, the players. And now, you see, AJ Dybantsa is putting the BYU team on the spotlight, something that has never happened before. We got people talking about them now. And whenever he walks in the gym, bro is the center of attraction. But, you know, they still connect the dots because when you look at AJ playing, you see KD playing, bro. So definitely, the dots are always easy to connect. And that's how AJ Dybantsa is. In his shaping his future, living up to the task of being one of the greats, being paid as one of the greats. But if he lives up to the task 100% or 1,000%, bro, the $7 million package is less because they're going to up that deal for him.
Fans expect greatness. Scouts expect dominance. The media expects headlines. That kind of spotlight has broken older, more mature athletes. AJ is carrying it at 18. That's not just pressure, that's an avalanche to overcome. And yet, here's the scariest part. AJ actually looks capable of handling it. He has the frame, the skill, and the poise. He has the smoothness of T-Mac and the scoring package of KD. He has the fearlessness to turn down blue bloods and carve his own path at BYU. The scary truth isn't that AJ is being called the next Durant. The scary truth is, for the first time in a long time, that comparison might actually be real. And here's the craziest part of all that we haven't even mentioned yet. The pressure AJ faces isn't just about living up to Kevin Durant. It isn't just about proving he was worth the $7 million NIL deal. It isn't even just about making BYU nationally relevant. It's something bigger. Right now, international basketball is dominating. Just look at some of the top players in the league right now. SGA is from Canada, Giannis is from Greece, Jokic is from Serbia, Wemby's from France, and Luka from Slovenia. Over the last decade, the very best players in the NBA haven't been American.
You see, now this is where it gets interesting. Over the last few years, the best players emerging from the NBA hasn't been Americans. It has been outsiders. Not like outsiders, but foreigners. Bro, now, the whole pressure is on him. And we got a few rookies too that actually could compete with him. But AJ putting BYU on the map, bro. Who knows? He could be the next America's best, or we could get the next best player next year or this year possibly from America, and that could be AJ because you know he got a lot of pressure on him now. He's not just carrying them in the spotlight. He isn't just trying to play like KD. It's not just about the money, bro. America hasn't had the best basketball player in years. We got some from Slovenia. We got some from France. That's Wemby. We got quite a few too. But it's actually amazing. The competition is there. And you know, this is actually scary. I hope you all notice.
Team USA has only had one MVP in the last 7 years.
Team USA has only had one MVP in the last 7 years. You see what I'm talking about now?
But Joel Embiid wasn't born in the US. The last US-born MVP was James Harden in 2018. The days of America dominating the rest of the world without competition are gone. Which means Team USA desperately needs its next generational star. Anthony Edwards looks like one of them. Jason Tatum has shown flashes. Cooper Flagg is expected to carry that torch in the coming years. But if Team USA is going to stay on top, it won't just need one generational wing. It'll need multiple. And that's where AJ comes in. At just 18 years old, he's already being asked to be more than a great college player, more than a future NBA star. He's being asked to be a savior for a program, for a league, maybe even for a country. Think about that. The hopes of BYU fans, the weight of being compared to Kevin Durant, the $7 million expectations, and the future of Team USA basketball, all on the shoulders of a teenager. And that's the scariest truth of all, because AJ isn't just another next KD. He's not just another hyped teenager who might flame out under expectations. He's something new, something different, something scarier.
Now, we got the whole weight, the whole stress, the whole pressure of a team on a soldier, on his shoulder. Yeah, you got it right. And you see, having all these things go through one person and him going through these things, bro, it has to put him on the spotlight one way or the other. He has to put the team on the spotlight. Not just the money, not just the team, not just about playing like KD or being the MVP, but so far, the last US-born MVP was James Harden, and that was 2018. So this is the scary truth about AJ Dybantsa. Nobody is noticing. And I want you to leave your take in the comments. Do we see BYU in the spotlight more this year? And is AJ Dybantsa winning the MVP? And do you think Team USA will win the MVP? We'll be getting an American-born MVP this year and next. I need your take in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share. I see you on Wednesday for the next one. I got a surprise coming in. I'm going to be live soon. I love you. Peace out. Once again, happy Easter. It's the Lord's Day. Go be with your girl, your mom, your dad, your family. Have some good time. Go out, have some fun. Love you. Peace out.